Across the city, 9 people are abruptly kidnapped wherever they are and wake up unconscious inside a strange house. Leah wakes on a bed beside a man named Al B. and goes to investigate. No one responds when she calls out. She finds 2 more men unconscious in another room, then tries the front door, which is locked. The windows are sealed with brick walls, and the basement offers no exit. Panicking, Leah collapses. She later wakes to Father Duffy, checking on her, and learns there are 9 people trapped inside. A voice suddenly speaks through the speakers, saying they are chosen not for who they are, but for what they are. They are forced to play a game that tests their humanity for the entertainment of the watcher, who monitors them through dozens of cameras and microphones. The last person alive wins freedom and $5 million. The voice cuts out, and the group erupts into arguments. Some think it is real, others doubt it, but everyone understands that 8 of them are meant to die. Jay then pulls out a gun, saying the kidnappers letting him keep it proves the danger is real. Seeing everyone panic over the gun, Jay explains he is a cop, though the others still resent that he kept a weapon. Albie, bitter from his past, lashes out at Jay, saying his younger brother suffered under corrupt white cops. Francis cuts in with his theory that the Watcher wants them to kill each other. The group panics, and Jay agrees, adding that even the final survivor will likely be killed. Jay urges them to work together and suggests ramming the front door with the heavy dining table. Everyone helps except Claire, who sits smoking. The door does not move. Jay then shoots at the brick walls, but they are too thick. The group searches the house for hidden exits. Jay digs into the basement floor with an iron bar, but hits metal. Albie breaks open a wooden panel in the ceiling, only to find it sealed as well. As hope fades, Claire raids the liquor cabinet and starts drinking. The group eventually regroups in the living room, scolds Claire for not helping, and Jay locks the cabinet, saying alcohol will only worsen things. They talk and agree they do not want to kill, though they admit desperation can push people to extremes. A noise from the kitchen draws them in, where they find a dumbwaiter delivering food. Each person gets 1 piece of chicken and 1 potato. They sit down to eat. Father Duffy blesses the meal, and they finally introduce themselves. Duffy is a priest, Jay a cop, Leah a dancer, Claire a famous tennis player, Francis a musician, Cynthia his stay-at-home wife, Albie a rapper, Max a fashion designer, and Shona an addict on parole. Shona wears an ankle monitor, giving the group hope police might track her location. Leah does not eat meat, and the others argue over her chicken until Jay trades his potato for it to keep the peace. Albie complains that the kidnapping made him miss a record label meeting, then silences doubters with an improvised rap. After dinner, they divide the 5 bedrooms, each with 2 single beds. Duffy sleeps alone, Francis stays with Cynthia, and the remaining 6 draw names. Jay pairs with Leah, Claire with Shona, and Max with Albie. In their rooms, Claire catches Shona rummaging through her bag, sparking a heated argument. Albie practices rapping, while Max carefully hangs his only outfit. Duffy prays, while Jay and Leah talk and share personal stories. Francis admits to Cynthia that the prize money tempts him, which shocks her. Late that night, someone attacks Jay in the dark. He struggles and reaches for his gun, but the attacker flees before being identified. The noise brings everyone out, and accusations fly. Albie becomes the main suspect due to his earlier anger, and the arguments turn racially charged. Duffy steps in, calms the group, and sends them back to bed. Later that morning, the group gathers in the living room and notices the heat steadily rising. Another argument breaks out and nearly turns violent, but noises outside make them think police are tracking Shona's ankle monitor. They rush to the front door, shouting and pounding on it, while Francis watches, convinced it is pointless. Jay fires his gun in desperation, but the sounds fade and no one comes. The moment crushes their last hope. Jay unlocks the liquor cabinet, and everyone except Duffy, Leah, and Jay starts drinking. Music plays, and when Albie finds it too gloomy, he switches to something upbeat. As the house grows hotter, the drunk players begin dancing. Francis tries to flirt with Leah, but she reminds him of his wife and shuts him down. He retreats to his room with a bottle, muffles the noise, smashes it, and hides glass shards as weapons in the door frame and toilet tank. Eventually, most of the group passes out, leaving only Cynthia and Albie dancing together. When Francis walks in, he misreads the situation and attacks Albie. As Cynthia tries to stop the fight, Albie accidentally shoves her, and she falls, hitting her head on the railing and dying instantly. Albie apologizes in shock, but Jay drags him away and locks him in his room using an iron bar through the handles. The group covers Cynthia's body with a sheet and carries it to the basement. The rest of the day passes in silence as everyone wanders, lost in thought. Alone, Francis finds Cynthia's lipstick, puts it on, and kisses his reflection in the mirror. That evening, as the heat becomes unbearable, the group is angered to receive only small portions of potatoes. Albie pounds on his door, demanding his share. After pressure from the others, Jay gives him a tiny piece. Duffy calls it unfair and goes to give Albie more, but Jay rushes after him. The door opens too late. Albie bursts out, grabs the iron bar, and savagely beats Jay, crushing his face. When he realizes what he has done, he retreats back into his room. Duffy checks on Jay, who uses his last breath to hand over his gun. Jay's body is covered and taken to the basement beside Cynthia's. At the next meal, the group receives extra food and wine with a note saying, "Good work," rewarding the killing. Only Leah and Duffy eat together. The others are too paranoid and eat alone. Francis brings food to Albie, telling him he earned it and claiming he accepts that Cynthia's death was an accident. Soon after, Leah and Duffy go to check on Albie and find him dead, hanging from the ceiling with Max's scarf. The discovery sparks another argument. Everyone suspects Francis of revenge, while he insists Albie killed himself and shifts blame to Max because it was his scarf. Duffy ends the fight, reminding them it leads nowhere, and they all separate, distrustful. Duffy and Leah carry Albie's body to the basement. Alone, Francis continues smearing Cynthia's lipstick on himself, showing his mind is unraveling. Later, Claire catches Shona touching her things again, sparking another argument that turns into slapping. Shona storms off to smoke, and Claire grabs a corkscrew and stabs her. Elsewhere, Leah is washing her face when Francis appears. Without a word, he rips a light fixture from the wall and plunges it into the sink, electrocuting Leah and knocking her unconscious. Duffy goes to Max and says he only trusts him and Leah, proposing they work together to survive. Max demands extra food in return, but Duffy refuses, saying it would be unfair. Max tries to steal more anyway, forcing Duffy to pull his gun and make him stop. As Duffy escorts Max out of the kitchen, they find Shona's body in the hallway. Max panics and runs back, while Claire claims it was self-defense. Duffy tries to take her away, but they soon discover Leah lying dead in her room. As Duffy blesses the body, Claire escapes. Francis then appears and pretends to be shocked by Leah's death. Duffy sees through the act and raises his gun. Unable to kill him, Duffy hesitates, and Francis mocks him and demands the weapon. With no choice, Duffy shoots, hitting Francis in the stomach. Moments later, it is revealed Leah is alive and regaining consciousness. She sees Duffy shoot Francis and flees to hide, where she slips, knocks over a toilet lid, and discovers the hidden glass shards. In the kitchen, Claire goes to take food, but is confronted by Max, who demands something in return. His suggestive gesture turns violent when he removes his belt and starts choking her. Duffy rushes in and begs him to stop, but when Max refuses, Duffy shoots him. Francis immediately appears, stabs Duffy in the back with the shard he hid above the door, then takes the gun and shoots Claire. Duffy pleads for mercy, but Francis kills him as well. Believing everyone else is dead, Francis celebrates, shouting at the Watcher and demanding his reward. Upstairs, Leah uses bedsheets to retrieve a glass shard and accidentally drops the toilet tank lid, revealing her position. Francis follows the sound and chases her through the house. Leah hides under a bed, but Francis finds her, flips the mattress, and drags her out by the ankles. She stabs his leg and escapes, but he catches her again and corners her on the balcony. When he charges, they both fall over the railing and crash onto the table below. Leah lands on top of Francis and realizes the fall drove the shard into his chest, killing him. She is the sole survivor. Shaken by what she has done, Leah watches the front door open in a blinding light and walks through to find a large bag meant to hold the prize money. She continues down a corridor and enters another door that closes behind her, revealing a different house filled with traumatized winners from other games. Leah realizes the nightmare is only beginning. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.